Hey 143 fam, I'm Antonia. Thank you for being here. Please make sure you subscribe and click on the bell for notifications. Winners for July readings have now been posted to Instagram and in YouTube comments. Make sure you check that out if you would like to be considered. For a free reading in August, make sure you subscribe. Leave me a comment below your video and I will notify winners at the very end of the month. I'll also be doing separate reading giveaways and additional daily, weekly readings all month long on Instagram. Make sure you check me out there, Urban Soul Guru. All of my information is in the box below. Now let's check out August and see what's in store. Hi Taurus, this reading is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising for August 2019. We're going to take a look at your general overview first, then we'll take a look at love. I will have timestamps down below. Taurus. General overview for August 2019. Taurus general overview. August 2019. Okay. Definitely picking up. Whew. Okay. Taurus, I've got your energy. It feels like somebody shocked you last month. It doesn't feel like this is a shock that's coming up in August. It feels like somebody may have shocked you. They may have shocked the hell out of you. It feels like you come into August kind of over it. If somebody wasn't honest with you and you found out, you come into August without them. I do feel like for some of you, there is a shock factor and you move forward in August, maybe even with this person because you don't care anymore. You're over it. But there's definitely some resolution. It feels like for more of you than not, that shock factor, and this doesn't necessarily just pertain to love. This could pertain to business as well. I'm feeling maybe a friend, but it feels more so business or romantic partnerships. If someone shocked you, you may have separated. It feels like there was a big enough reason to separate, okay? Now I will tell you that it seems like there needs to be some healing. For sure this month. You may devote a lot of August to self-healing, but there's a lot of joy. There's a lot of joy. There's a lot of peace here that you're gonna feel side by side with this healing. You're gonna actually look back and be grateful for whatever that shock was to finally push you over the edge to say enough of this, okay? Because it doesn't feel like you're totally caught off guard. Like there was a shocking moment, a shocking piece of information that came in, but you've had some suspicions, okay? So let's take a look at this with a little bit more clarity here. Taurus general overview, August. Okay. Be honest with yourself why the separation needed to occur. Also be honest with yourself about your role in certain situations as well. It does feel like you may have extended a little bit too much compassion towards someone who didn't necessarily earn that, okay? And it's not that you shouldn't be kind, you should have, but it feels like someone took advantage of you. More than anything, it feels like someone took advantage of you, Taurus. Recognize that. Be honest with yourself, especially as you may be sitting in a little bit of grief and you wonder if maybe you should give somebody a second shot. Be honest with yourself about what that reflection truly is, okay? You can do better. You will do better. Someone who's going to come in and replace whoever or whatever this is. Now, this doesn't necessarily just have to be a person. This, I feel like for some of you, you were shocked by something that came up at work. And you're just like, I don't know about my stability now in a situation that I thought was very stable, was very long-term. Is this abruptly coming to an end? Am I getting laid off? What does it mean we have new management or new owners? You may choose to step out, and that may have been the ending. Be honest with yourself that that's of the highest good. Be honest with yourself that you can do better, okay? And so even though you're stepping away from something stable or may have already done that, and that's risky and that brings us some anxieties, do trust that universe has your back. You're moving toward a much more abundant, a much more joyful opportunity. You may decide instead of going to work for somebody else, you may launch something of your own, okay? I'm definitely feeling creative projects here. So if you have a creative side to you, Taurus, that's something you need to be investing energy into this month. You may take something that is just more of a side project or hobby and turn it into a career now. There's a lot of love and light around that for you. Center of your reading, I'm getting fresh air. I'm getting spend time with your kids. If you have children, be outside and spend time with your kids regardless of the weather. You need to be out. You need this as much as them. This also speaks to inner child, okay? So if you are healing and there's some grief, make sure you're taking care of you. This is a month that revolves around self-love. It revolves around your children, your inner child, the home, okay? There's major emphasis there. But there's healing and relief. I don't feel shocks. I don't necessarily feel major separations happening in August. If nothing shocking came up for you in July, okay? If something shocking came up in July and you haven't separated yet, I do see some of you calling it quits. Partners, romantic partners, business partners. But it feels like if that's the case in August, you have already gotten that news. Feel like you're being pushed toward being, first of all, you guys make wonderful entrepreneurs because of your self-discipline and your intelligence and your work ethic. It's very grounded. I see some of you and many of you stepping out of traditional work environments, that typical 9-to-5, and opening something, doing something, launching something, especially if you're creative. Now, I'll say this too. Some of you feel like you are creative souls, but you've never taken a look at the business side of that creative industry. You may do very well. So you still have this connection to creative people, creative work, but you may be on the business end of it. That comes through really strong for you, Taurus. Keep an open mind to that if it's not something you've already explored. Okay, be honest with yourself is being clarified. By daydream, be honest with yourself as to what it is that you actually want. So if you had to close doors, if you've had to say goodbye to some people or certain situations, what do you want universe to give you? What do you want to call in? Can you consciously manifest this month? It's about you. It's about reshaping your life in the month of August. It comes through very strongly, but it's also about what's of the highest good for you and your kids and your family. What's of the highest good for you on a personal level? So you may find that you've made quite a lot of money and there's a lot of stability in that typical, that 9-to-5, or maybe you work many more hours than that. And again, that financial freedom is there, but it keeps you away from your family. It keeps you away from people that you love. It doesn't feel like you're okay with that anymore. You want a different vision. You're evolving the vision. So we have fresh air, center of the reading. Clarify by see only love. Exercise self-love. If you're healing and you're working on inner child, it's all about self-healing and self-love. Also, surround your family and your children in love, especially if you haven't been able to spend enough time with them, the kind of time that you would like to spend with your family. They may be feeling a little bit of distance, especially if you've been traveling or working really hard. I'm definitely seeing some of you coming home and just passing out. You don't have time to spend quality time with people that you love and care about because you've been working so hard. It's time to have some healthier boundaries there, but I do think that's going to be a big enough catalyst for many of you to make changes so that you can be successful and have the career of your dreams, but also have the family life and the personal life of your dreams. It is all possible, and it feels like you guys recognize that. Okay, entrepreneur here is being clarified by energy work. I'll tell you this, it feels like you're coming full circle with a new business, a new idea, but it does feel like you're gonna need some energy work to launch this as big as it can launch, okay? It does feel like if you don't include an energy work element into the mix, this still feels successful for you, but it feels like you may encounter some obstacles and some blocks. It's just gonna take longer to get this off the ground. So if you are an energy healer, utilize that. I specialize in energy healing. I'm a shaman, Reiki master teacher. I'd love to help you. If there's someone that you already have a relationship with, get some work done. This is coming up for several signs. So there's definitely something in August across the board collectively. We need some energy healing done. Recognize that. But I also see many of you recognizing that you are an energy worker. You are a healer of some sort and making that your business. And it feels like there's a lot of love in that. There would be a lot of joy, you stepping out of a different kind of environment that just doesn't nurture your soul and your soul purpose. And now you create something new, this healing space. You utilize that. I see you guys. It doesn't necessarily feel like a side job. It feels like if you transition into that, it could very well be full time for you. Wow, a bunch of cards just wanted to pop. All right, crowning this reading, Taurus. General overview. Wow. Okay. This is a new phase. You're closing some doors. You're saying goodbye to some people. You are not just waiting for universe to open doors, but you're creating them for yourself, okay? Crowning this whole reading is new partner. It's fate. Fated people have shown up to help you. Fated love is showing up if you've had to say goodbye to romantic partners. There's healing, but there's something being brought to completion. There's a lot of fate here. There's a lot of love here. Universe has your back, but this feels like this comes through with the help of somebody. It feels like someone shows up to help you this month, okay? Bottom of the deck. So you're definitely getting some energy cleansing here. Make sure you get energy work done. If you're going to launch something new, make sure you have the best energy surrounding it. Make sure that you give yourself the opportunity to call all of these blessings in. Energy cleansing, but it does feel like you need more than just cleansing done. Get some energy healing done. You'll really appreciate it, and it's definitely going to benefit money and new businesses and new projects, especially if you're creative. Okay, we're going to take a look at love, Taurus. Taurus in love, August 2019. Taurus, I'm getting separations coming through. I think some of you guys are still going through it. Are you still dealing with separations from last month? Or thinking about them because you've gotten some shocking news? It's okay this month to focus more on business and that transition than love, because it feels like for many of you, like a big percentage of you, you need to focus on self-love this month. You need to. And that's where you may need some energy healing done so that you're not distracted from work and from the new career path, the new job offer. Okay. Yeah, separations are coming through big. So let's get some clarity. Taurus in love. Taurus in love. So it looks like you had a soulmate relationship with whoever you may have separated from. So soulmate here, followed by red flags. If you're single and you're dating, be careful right now. Feels like you may be dating somebody new in the month of August that you met last month. You missed some things in July. Mercury was retrograde. We had eclipses. There was a lot going on. It was intense. When you start seeing these red flags show up with this new person, cut them out early. There are definitely some people that are just not meant to be in your life right now, Taurus, but you'll be better for it. And it feels like as long as you're conscious, as long as you're paying attention, you know who these people are or who that person, who that situation, or what that situation is, okay? There are some red flags here, but there is the soulmate element, and that's what may feel a little tricky. You recognize one another. It feels like you've picked up, after 1,000 years, and you can pick up where you left off. And that's pretty cool, how that connection, but there's red flags. There's something off. There's something off. It feels like someone may still have ties to an old relationship. Be real careful with that. If you are in a committed relationship, there feels like someone may offer you, this honestly is what I'm getting. For some of you, in committed relationships, it feels like someone is really fascinated with you and they would like to have some sort of physical relationship, a relationship in some capacity, because there may be chemistry there and you may be picking up again on this soulmate connection, but you already have commitments. They don't want to respect those commitments. Be careful of people showing up and making it seem like it's about work. So it's okay, you're in a committed relationship, you're very loyal, and then you're going to go have this meeting with somebody who they're just trying to spend time with you. They're trying to feel out whether they can weasel their way in. Be very careful. This person doesn't feel like they would offer you a whole lot of depth. It feels pretty superficial. Whereas if you are currently in a relationship with somebody and you have commitments, it feels like there's a lot of depth in your current situation. So I don't necessarily think these people stand a shot, but it feels like your partner may pick up on why does he or why does she need to contact you? This has nothing to do about work. What's going on? Trust your partner if they're picking up on that, because they're seeing something you may have missed, okay? And not that anybody's threatening your relationship per se, but it may cause some issues. It may cause some friction at home. There are some people that may be showing up for the wrong reasons for you. But it feels like these people, they're not new in August. So if you're meeting new people in August, after Mercury retrograde ends, they're going to be more trustworthy. You're going to see people very clearly from, say, the first or second date, okay? It's not going to require being together for a few weeks to understand who you're dealing with. So I'm not concerned. For those of you calling in partners, new partners this month, you may. But it does feel like for those of you who met somebody new last month, there's something off with it, okay? But, okay, so we have this soulmate relationship clarified by self-love. It really feels like this may have ended for some of you, and now you need to focus on self-love and self-healing. For others of you, if you want to heal this relationship and stay together, you both need an emphasis on self-love. It feels like, Taurus, you can't just keep giving. You can't. You have to exercise self-love and healthy boundaries and be okay with that for this to move forward. There is definitely healing here. For those of you who are having a hard time with the partner, there's definitely healing here. I do feel like for those of you in committed relationships where you guys aren't necessarily struggling together, there does feel like there's someone on the outside that wants to create an issue. Don't allow anybody, don't give away that power. Okay, trust in your partner. For those of you who've been together with the partner for a long time, they feel very trustworthy. They feel very loyal to you. So don't let some outside opinion start to rock that trust. Red flags being clarified by engagement. If you met somebody last month, be really careful. Do not rush into this. There are red flags. It feels like someone's trying to lock you down, Taurus, and they're not the right person. And they want to lock you down real quick before you see the red flags. Because when you see this, they're going to know that you're going to bolt. But if you already have commitment in place, there's a higher likelihood you'll stick out some of the bullshit, to be honest, okay? Be careful about people who came into your life last month, or people who came back last month. What are their intentions? How do you feel around them? If you're picking up on red flags, it's really, really, really time to walk away from that. For those of you who have this commitment, you already have this high-level commitment with the partner, do not let some shady individual interfere with this. I'm telling you, there's somebody in your life and their energy comes through and it feels a little off here. Do I think you're going to be tricked into anything? No. But it's distracting nonetheless. You have to be focused on self-love this month. You're focused on career transitions and this faded energy. That's really where your focus needs to be. But if you are entertaining love and new partners right now, and you want that healthy longevity in current relationships, you just have to be aware that some of these people feel like they're popping up. I'm definitely getting friends. If you have friends, like old friends circle back, especially if you had issues with them in the past and they weren't trustworthy, somebody is just like is showing up real shady right now. And I'm sorry that's coming through in your reading, but I really am feeling that. It's not your energy. If you're in a committed relationship and it's solid, it's not that person's energy. It's someone on the outside. It could just be a friend, but something's off, Taurus. Trust your intuition here. Passion is being clarified by spiritual connection. I do think you may be calling in some people where you have that very intense physical chemistry because there is a soulmate factor, and this may confuse you. It may confuse you that you have such an intense soulmate connection, but this person still may not be of the highest good to be in your life. So just be conscious of that. For others of you, you eliminate those people whose intentions aren't good, those friends, those people who came back. You move forward to this place of passion and joy. It feels like you get here with somebody new a little bit later in the month, and it's very beautiful. Those soulmate connections are connections that you can trust, including your partner. If you've been with somebody for a long time, they're not stepping out on you. These don't feel like they're red flags. This is definitely somebody else. And you may notice that in your partner. They may be going out, and it's a business meeting, but you're like, this has nothing to do with like the business you work in. Your partner's not being shady. It's somebody else. You're picking up on that energy, okay? But communicate that to them. Crowning the reading is codependent. You may have had some codependent partners circle back. And that could be the red flags, okay? So it's not necessarily all shade here, but something just feels off. These red flags really could be issues with codependence. This needs to be in the past now. If you're still entertaining relationships with this codependence, not just in romance, okay? I'm definitely getting codependent friends here. They're draining you. They're draining you of this life force. They're preventing you from meeting fated people, fated friends, fated romance, fated opportunities in career. You got to cut those cords, okay? or at least be consciously working on this with a current partner. If this is showing up, say, in your current relationship, this could definitely be healed, but it is a big enough red flag. You guys got to heal it now, or you won't be together down the road, okay? Because it does feel like this drains you. That codependence energy, it drains you. And then bottom of the deck, we have let go of control issues. Those addictive qualities, those red flags, anybody rushing you into commitment, Taurus, you know what to do, okay? You know what to do. You know what experience you want to be having. I'm going to show you this, okay? Let's get to something really positive here. If you can work past all of that, and you're healing current relationships if you need some healing right now, you're eliminating anybody who doesn't have positive intentions for you or for your current relationship, you eliminate that, you get back to this place that you love, okay? This is right around the corner from you. So just be conscious of energy and people who are starting to show you true colors, or your intuition's just telling you something is a little off, and maybe more than just a little off, okay? You may have to walk away from somebody early in the month of August, so by the end of August, okay, you walk away from this, you get to the end of August and true love comes in. That's going to be true for many, 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 many of you, especially if you're single, or you've gotten out of relationships late in July, early in August. Don't be surprised if somebody better shows up pretty quickly. But I feel like for the majority of you, if you're going through separations, if you just separated, it's not about going out and trying to seek love. It's not about being too social. It's really about being home with family, being home with your children, but most importantly, that self-healing, that inner child healing. You're going to be grateful you've done that, especially if you start that and prioritize that early on in the month. I see you having more joy the last 2 weeks of August, whereas the first 2 weeks of August feel like there's still work to be done and some healing and some emotions to work through. Some people still may need to be caught all the way out. By the time we get to the end of August, it's definitely a different energy. So we'll take a look at that mid-month, okay? We'll be back mid-month for your mid-month love reading. If you feel like you need more clarity, reach out to me for a private reading for energy healing, which I specialize in. I'm sending you so much love, light, gratitude, Taurus. I'll see you guys back here soon. Ciao.